Tice Up Your Life with Michael and Casey. Tice.
Hey y'all, Michael here, Tice Up Your Life. It's just me today. This episode's called Trouble in Paradise. Uh, let's just say it's been a long week, and I'm sorry that we didn't get our podcast to you that was on the beach that we had planned, but after watching this, you'll understand why. So I'm here in Tice Paradise. Don't mind the cars in the background; they sound really loud on the speakerphone here. So yeah, let's get started with this. So we ended up going to Turks and Caicos for a back to the beach trip. So if you followed us on Facebook, Instagram, all those things, you notice we have really good deals. We still have the same deal going on right now, and it's good through tomorrow, which is Sunday the 5th. And I've got it up here on the screen for you. So definitely hit me up and I'm going to explain to you why Sandals and Beaches is by far the best company that I ever deal with and how much that we love them. So take a screenshot, go to our Facebook, look, find it. We need a $98 deposit. Once you get your $98 deposit, we can change the dates if we need to. Kind of hit me up and let's get you some of these credits here and see if we can get you some a good vacation plan. It doesn't hurt. You can plan all the way through 2026. So I've led into that. Now let me go into why it was trouble in the paradise. So let's start out with we got to travel without kids. All right. So we left our kids at home with some family that were babysitting them. And we were excited. This is the first time Casey was going to be able to go on to a trip for a travel agent trip, right? So we had everything planned out. She was excited. She had notebooks that she made, and she had all these different color pens because when we go, we're not just enjoying the beach, right? We are learning and traveling around the resort, trying different foods, going to classes, learning about weddings, learning about the resort, learning about all that stuff. And so she packed all that. Man, we took our scuba gear because we were going to dive and see what that was like there in Turks and Caicos. And I mean, we were excited. So we stayed up late the night before. Our flight was at like 5:45 in the morning. So we stayed up late, ended up getting up early, having to drive to the airport, which not a bad drive from where we live. It's only about 45 minutes to an hour, but you always got to show up to the airport 2 hours early, especially flying internationally. So that being said, we got on the road. Of course, we were a little tired and grumpy, so it's always a fun ride. But once we kind of get into the airport and sat down and, we're through security and all that, which was way easier without all these kids. We forget how much uh, of a breeze it can be when you plan accordingly. So, but yeah, we landed there early and got there pretty quick. And I'll tell you, it was beautiful. So I got some pictures here to kind of show you what how pretty it is. It's some of the prettiest water I've ever seen. I don't ever get a window seat on the plane, but I'll tell you, she let me sit at the window seat, so I was happy. And man, I just looked out that window and saw this beautiful, beautiful water, and I was thrilled that I was about to go get in it. So, anyways, it's nothing more relaxing than seeing this beautiful water. So there were some pictures there for you, kind of recap, and then again follow along our shorts and videos and stuff that we'll be posting here from all the stuff that we did do. So, anyways, we get there, we get on our transfers, we get over to where we got to go, and then we had a meeting that night, cocktail party, so that was fun. And then we went to dinner, which they had already scheduled some dinners for us, and had a good meal, had a great time. And we tried to go out a little bit, but being that we were running on 3 to 4 hours of sleep, we finally called it early about 8:45, 9 o'clock. I think we got in there, and we had already been booking some vacations early for people. People were jumping on that deal, so don't forget, jump on it. It's almost over, but even if you watch this later, hit me up because we've got some other deals that Tice Up Your Life will offer too. So that being said, we went to bed, got up early. We went to breakfast. Breakfast there's just as good as pretty much anywhere I've ever had. So they'll make omelets for you. They'll make scrambled eggs for you. I mean, there's a sit down or there's a buffet, whichever one you prefer. So we did all that and rushed over to where we were going to have our first meeting. And got to our first meeting, and it was a photography slash social media class. And one of my good friends was the one that was putting it on. He used to be my business development manager here. And so it was a good class. We were having a good time. Now, in the middle of this class, near the end, Casey gets a text message from her mom. It says, I don't know if you saw my voicemail, but your grandmother is on her way to the hospital and it's not good. So we had just finished our social media class and we're getting ready to go do a resort tour, and we're trying to find out more information. So now, mind you, there's about 80 of us, 80 travel agents there, travel advisors. So we're trying to take this group photo, and Casey and I are trying to figure out what's going on, what's the plan. And so she finally got in touch with her mom, and we were like, oh God, okay. This isn't good. Like we've got trouble in paradise right now. We gotta figure out what we're gonna do. We just got here, and now we gotta get plane tickets out of here. Let's go. So I sent Casey back to the room because she just needed to be away. So I sent her back to the room and told her to start packing, grab my bag that I used as a carry-on, and go ahead and start throwing your stuff in there as much as you can. Because flights at that time, I'm like, I'm only finding one flight really. And I was trying to get out of there as fast as I could. So, and we had talked and discussed quickly that we'd got another text message saying that she was stable. So if she was in ICU, we're like, okay, all right, we're good. We talked about it. I looked and I said, okay, man, flights for me were going to be about $1,000 for me to go and take off and go. And Casey and I discussed it, and we're like, okay, well, she's stable right now. Let's go ahead and she'll go first, and then I will play catch up, moving my flights to get to where we could redo them. So that's what I ended up doing. And I rushed. I talked to one of our people putting the event on there and said, hey, here's the deal. Here's what's going on. Like, my wife's flight leaves in an hour. Now, mind you, you're supposed to be there 2 to 3 hours early to the airport. So I said, hey, is there anything we could do to get her to the airport? Because I'm trying to get her home. And they jumped on it. I'm telling you, these people are freaking amazing. So in the middle of this resort tour, one of the head higher up people, I mean, I think he was a regional manager or state regional man. I don't remember what his actual title is, but I've known him for a while. He jumped on it. He's like, come on. He took me over somewhere. We called somebody. I'm assuming it went all the way up to the top of the resort management chain, the guy who's the general manager. Because next thing you know, there's an open seat on a bus for Casey to get over to the airport, and they were on their way. So that's what happens. We send Casey over. I stay back. I try to finish this resort tour, but I had lost everybody at that point, and I was like, you know what? Let me just go kind of focus on what we got to do here. And of course, I'm stressing and trying to figure out, okay. So Casey gets to the airport. She's stressed. She's got less than an hour to get on the flight, but she makes it, right? So she gets on the plane. She flies out. I'm like, okay, good. I got her on the way home. We're good. She had a layover in Charlotte, and then she was going to be in Austin, and then we were going to have somebody pick her up. So go through that. I think I get done with the resort tour, and I start going around doing our job of taking pictures and videos and learning things. And yeah, man, we were going to, I say we, it was me. I was going back to the room to change clothes real quick, and Casey calls me, and she's hysterical. And I'm like, what is going on? And she said, she died. And it hurt. She had hit me, but I was stuck, right? And I'm like, okay, well, anybody knows what I do for a living know that I can work through this. It sucks, but we can work through this, right? So I started working through it, trying to calm her down. Now, mind you, she's in an airport by herself in Charlotte, and I didn't go with her. And she's hysterical. I mean, like, I couldn't even get her to really answer me while she was crying. And I get it. If her grandmother helped raise her, and this is the first time Casey's had to deal with something like that, and it was rough, and it's still rough. That's why I'm doing this podcast by myself today. But it's getting better, and so she's like, my mom's calling me, I gotta go, so she hangs up, and I'm like, oh God. And she had told me she was just about to board a plane, and I've been watching, waiting, and I'm like, the condition she was in, I was terrified she was gonna miss her flight, so I started calling the airport. I'm calling the Charlotte airport, and I'm like, hey, it was American Airlines. I'm like, American, I know you're a gate agent. Like, just give me to the, or not a gate agent, a ticket agent. I said, get me to the gate agent, please. Just something in there. Like, I was like, so I told him the situation, and all right, hold on, I'm on my way. So she had left the thing and went to go find Casey. Um, Meanwhile, Casey had ended up getting on the plane, and so that was good. So that gate agent, I guess, didn't help. I didn't find that out till later, but we had done that, and so Casey, we texted some on the plane, and she got home and she was able to go be with family. So now that's the trouble in paradise part, and here's why I wanted to make sure I got this out there to you guys sooner than later, because one, we have this special going on, but two, I want to tell you how amazing Sandals is and beaches. Uh, Not only did they make sure that we were able to get Casey home, and then they were helping me get home early too, but every single one of them asked me every time they saw me, and I didn't know most of these people, so I was. They asked me, "How is she doing? What are you okay? What can we do to help?" Things like that, and I'm like, "Y'all resort people run and manage resorts. Like, I'm just a random guy here." And I mean, they never forgot. They knew who I was, and I was like, "Well, I appreciate that. I'm gonna finish kind of getting some stuff done because my flight's not for another day and a half. It was the earliest I could get." They're like, "Okay, whatever we can do to help." So uh, I was interviewing people beforehand, and we had a list of interviews that we wanted to do for you guys. And when I brought that list up, it was a no-brainer. They're like, "Yep, whenever you want, just go find them, tell them that we're doing it. You're good to go." So it was awesome. We were very happy about that, and I'm not saying that anybody couldn't do that, because you could, but they didn't even bat an eye. And so I was like, "This is great," and that's nothing, right? So, um, mind you, we're there for the Global Advisor Appreciation Day, and so that was the next day. So I go to the Global Advisor Appreciation Day, and we do our wedding stuff, which I have great stuff on that, but then we go into this dinner or lunch, and the vice president of Sandals is there, along with the minister of tourism for Turks and Caicos. So they're doing their speech, and we didn't know who was coming. They just said somebody special, so that we're like, okay, great, And if y'all know anything about the vice president of Sandals, he is a funny guy. He has a big personality, and he is awesome. So I'm like, great, he's number 2 for Sandals, right? This is great. So I listened to it and all that, and it was like good speech. We had good food, really good food. And then she spoke, and she told us all about some new stuff going on, and of course they're thanking us as advisors being there and things like that. And then we took a break for the lunch, and so we're eating, and they're making their rounds to different tables to the different advisors that they know and have seen, and or mostly to their management, because you had one of them at each table. So, and then it was kind of getting to meet some people. And so my guy who was sitting at my table, that was a management, corporate kind of guy, we'd been talking for a while, and he knew about Casey and what was going on, and we were talking about other things. I looked at him and said, "What are the odds that I could get an interview for my podcast with the vice president?" And he goes, "For you? We'll make it happen." I was like, "Whoa, let me think of some questions real quick." So I was like, "All right." I was like, "Yeah, man, 2 to 3 minutes. That's it. 2 to 3 minutes. All I need, just a little short, so we can." I know he's busy. I know he's supposed to be going somewhere right after this for another interview. So if we can do it later tonight, like, no big deal. He's like, "No, just hold on." I was like, "Okay. What am I doing? What's going on right here?" So he walks over, and Gary's sitting there, and he's having a conversation with the minister and some other agents and corporate people. And it's not far from me, but I could hear, I see my guy Tony is his name, whispering, or not whispering, but talking to him for a second. And he goes, "Is that Michael?" Like, Michael? He's like, "Yeah." He goes, he leaves everybody, walks over to me, and he said, "Michael, on behalf of Sandals and Beaches and everybody here and everybody, we offer you our deepest condolences. And if there's anything that we can do, we will be there. We will do it for you. Just let us know." He said, "I was notified by my staff early this morning when I was picked up, and he was picked up in Jamaica and flown down because they were doing a meeting earlier that morning. So they had been going since 5:30 that morning. So on the plane ride, I guess the resort manager, had told him about it, and uh, it was very humbling and thankful. I mean, this guy who's the second in charge of $1 million of company resort, $1 billion probably, knew about my wife and her grandma, and he took the time to leave what he was doing to come find me and tell me, uh, to offer condolences for us and to our family. So, uh, I mean, there's so much more respect to that. I can't say anything. It was awesome. So he said, "I heard you want to do a podcast." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Sir, I know you're busy. I need like 2 or 3 minutes of your time." And I was like, "And I don't really need it, but if you're busy," he's like, "No, absolutely, get it set up. I'll be right back." So I'm like looking at the time because I know he's got like this global advisor briefing that he's going to be doing to the rest of the world right afterwards in a big meeting. And I'm like, "Oh man, okay, good. It's only 2 or 3 minutes." I'm like, "Man, we're cutting it close already." So he's talking for a while, and then he comes over to me, and we don't really say anything up more than he asked me who my audience was, and I said, "Really, it's everybody." But we cater a lot to families and couples, um, especially people doing weddings, honeymoons, just wanting to go be together, but also big families traveling with kids and groups. So he's like, "Okay, great." So I was like, "All right, let's do this." I kid you not, man. It was like 15 minutes that he sat there and talked with me. And y'all only see shorts and some other videos of it. I'm not going to upload the whole thing because there's some stuff in there that we were just talking and we were just filming it. But um, I looked at my watch, and this dude's already like 25 minutes late to his next meeting. And I'm like, "You did not have to do all this, but we greatly appreciate it." So I have an exclusive interview with the vice president of Sandals that's going to be posted soon. So look forward to that. Um, and then, right after that, all the other people that I was waiting were just lined up behind him. Like, boom, boom, boom. I was there till like 5 o'clock at night getting all these things done, and it was amazing. So, hands down, they were just the lengths they went to make me comfortable and make sure that I'm reaching out to the wife to let them know was awesome. You don't get that from big companies. I can go to a resort down in Mexico, and you know, you lose a family member, they're like, they don't care, right? You're just somebody. Um, but that being said, I love the brand. I love the family. Now, with another thing going on was we had me trying to get home. Casey's at home. I'm still filming and getting content, but it's also, you know, I'm having to like update people of, hey, here's where we're at, here's what we're doing. So it got crazy for a little while, and then I almost got left in Turks and Caicos because, long story, but basically I left my CPAP machine that I had to hand carry because Casey had left all of her clothes, and so I was taking 2 suitcases, and I couldn't fit that into the suitcase like I normally do, and so I left it in the airport and was already on the plane, and I realized, and of course I'm in like the front seat, so I tell the flight attendant, and I had already thrown my passport and my bag in the front seat and went out the door, and like, yeah, yeah, and then some like other jackwagon flight attendant's like, well, we're not waiting for you, and I'm like, oh, whatever, like I gotta have this. So we're going over there, and I'm kind of stressed and already, upset. And here, I think, oh my God, I just left my wallet, my passport, and my bag in the front seat of that plane. And he just said, "We're not waiting for you. This is going to be fun. I'm going to be stuck here without a passport." Uh, Now, thankfully, Southwest Airlines, they were nice enough. They found it and they'd already started walking towards the plane knowing it was mine because some of other people that were sitting next to me. So uh, that was great of them. And I was able to get on the flight. And so get all the way. And of course, now I'm on the flight trying to get a bunch of travel stuff. We've done a lot of good stuff, and I'm still trying to keep updated with the family and land in Fort Lauderdale. And of course, for some reason, Fort Lauderdale makes you leave security after you go through customs to go right back through security. So I'm in line for that, and I get all the way up. I've got TSA pre-check, so I get up to the front, and the TSA agent's like, "Yeah, you don't have TSA pre-check." "What do you mean? It's right here on the passport." Like, "Yeah, I see it's on the passport, but you don't have, or on the ticket." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "You can either go back to the gate and see if they can fix it, or you can go stand in the regular line." I'm like, looking at the regular line, like, so long. Let me just go back to the gate. So I go over to the ticketing agent, and he's like, "It's literally printed on your passport, right, or on your boarding pass." I was like, "I know, that's what I said." And he's like, he looks at, he prints me on the ticket. He's like, "All right, go. All right, get all the way to the front." And this dude's like, "Yeah, you don't have TSA pre-check." I'm like, "Dude, it's on the ticket right here. You see, like." And he's like, "Sorry." And I'm like, "Dude, can you like help me out here? I don't understand. I've flown many, many times. It's on the ticket. Why are you telling me that it's not on the ticket? Because I see it right here. Like, you see it? I didn't make this ticket. It printed out earlier." Yeah. So he pulls me off to the side, and I'm like, "Great, I'm getting in trouble." But he had explained it to me, and I was like, "Oh, okay. It was nothing I did. It was something that the airlines had messed up." And so I ended up going through normal security. So, uh, which of course, naturally, I get to the front. Everybody's going through the metal detector just fine. They get to me, and they're like, "All right, full body cavity search. Come on, put your hands on your head." And I'm like, "Oh God, come on, why?" So I finally get through all that, and I'm able to talk to Granddad. Uh, and I spoke with him for a while, and that was good. And then jumped on a plane and got home. So it's been a long week. I have a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff for you guys. But I wanted to get that out there that Sandals and Beaches by far is our favorite company to work with, and the fact that they did all of that just for people that are just regular agents who, yeah, we sell money, sell their brand, but they care. And I have phone numbers, and I have phone numbers and emails to people that when you have problems, they know who we are because they take the time to invest their time into getting to know. And I take the time to go to meet them and get them so they know they have my face. They know my face. They know my name, and they know that when I calling them, and they know my personality, and they know how I handle business. So when you have issues, we can call him, and I have a personal relationship with them so that we can make sure that any issue you have is taken care of. And this is a learning experience for everybody, right? And I'll tell you, it didn't cost us any money for us to get Casey home and for me to get home because we utilize my rewards points to fly for the most part. I had just enough on our other rewards line to get that airline to get her out of there faster. I was able to cancel her other one, which refunded all of my points back to me and the money that I spent for the taxes. For mine, I actually saved a little money because I had redone my flights to an earlier flight on a different day, so refunded more points to me. So these are all things that you learn, and when you're in destination and your guys are going to have any issues that pop up, you call me, and you know that I can get in contact with people, or I can guide you how to do it because I've lived it, right? If you have an emergency that arises, I will tell you how to do this, when to do this, and get you home, right? Travel insurance, I always recommend travel insurance, but I can't officially recommend it. So, no, travel insurance will help with a lot of those things. Um, so just kind of recap the rest of our trip because we're going to see all kinds of stuff popping up. But again, beautiful resort. I mean, the food was amazing. I mean, the water was beautiful. So I'm gonna pop up some pictures here and kind of go through little things so you can see for our next shorts. But this is the Mac Daddy of cheese right here. It is Mr. Mac's cheese, mac and cheese food truck. It's by the water park. Zoom in on those menus when you get a chance. Oh my God. Uh, right. So we got the water park. I mean, this is just one small section. There's a lazy river that goes all the way around it. Uh, this is for the medium-sized kids. There's some big kid ones over here. There's some little kid ones on the back behind it. There's a pirate ship, which I'm standing on. I mean, just wonderful, right? Made me miss our kids a lot. Again, another pretty photo of the water, but so I always tell you guys water sports are included, and I always forget to get pictures of the other stuff that's included. But here's those paddle boards and some of those Hobie cats that you could take out. I'm gonna have some videos and pictures of that. You could see the more paddle boards in the back, kayaks, all their life jackets and safety features. These are those bikes and trikes you could take in the water. I mean, just a freaking awesome place. The Jerk Shack. Oh gosh, that's so good. This is their menu right on the beach. It's a jerk truck right now. They're starting to put them everywhere on all the resorts. It is one of my favorite things. That was literally the first thing I ate when I landed there. Is I went looking for that. So, and then of course we had a drink contest, photo contest. So this was our photo we submitted. I would venture to say we took second place. I thought we should have been first, but there was another one that looked pretty good. And Casey kind of pointed it out from home when she saw it. She's like, "Yeah, it's gonna win." But of course, naturally, I was like last minute submitting my stuff, so I had to go do this real quick because that's not a typical drink that I would drink. So, and some other things that are gonna pop up that I want you guys and you'll see in some of these podcasts. But I mean, this is a family resort, so they have full size cribs. Like this is what's in your room. We've had two of these in a room at one time because we have twins, right? And the last one I'm going to leave you with here, and we'll do it, and you'll see a short on it. But it's Autism Awareness Month, or it was last month. Everybody at the kids club and stuff are certified for autism. This is our favorite resort to send to for autism. I mean, everybody is so inclusive, and they're trained, and they have things in place not only for children, right, but they also have it for adults, right? It's adults and elderly care. They have this in there so that everybody can enjoy the 5-star experience and the 5-star meals, and they have the helpers, and there's so much involved that this brand is just amazing, and they continue to get even better. I learned a lot of new things, and y'all watch these shorts coming up, and I promise you, you're gonna love it just as much as us. And for now, I want you guys to call me, message me, email me. Let's get your $98 hold down for a room. I don't care if it's for this year, next year. Let's get it done, and let's get it done before the 5th, because I have to submit my form with everybody's request on it. And once you get your $98 hold down, if we need to move dates, we can. $302 will come out a little bit later, 2 weeks later to be exact, to finish out your $400 deposit. And it's all refundable all the way up until final payment. So final payment is 45 days before you travel. So jump on this. I mean, there's some awesome deals here, right? We've got, I don't know, $250 spa credit. You got the, which is probably the best deal, honestly, with the exception of anybody who wants to get scuba certified. The Discover Scuba, 2 people get Discover Scuba certified, and then from there you can go finish out the rest of your certifications, and of course you dive for free when you're certified at Sandals, so, or beaches. Anyways, and it doesn't have to be just beaches; it can be beaches or sandals. So I end that there. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and y'all follow, like, subscribe, and get ready for our next podcast. And y'all blow this thing up for us so that we can get everybody educated. So, till next time, this is Michael. Dice Up Your Life.